Mel, it's from Wilkinson Cameras and I've got something new to talk about today. I've been testing, or rather learning how to use, the DJI Mini 4 Pro drone. We've just started stocking DJI, who are of course best known for their drones and gimbals, but who actually sell microphones, which I've forgotten to bring with me today, action cameras and more. The DJI Mini 4 Pro is going to be your entry point into drones as a videographer or photographer, and who wants to stick below that 250 gram limit and below £1,000. It has the extra features that you'll want, including Active Track 360, intelligent flight modes, and it's going to allow you to quickly and easily create gorgeous cinematic video as well as high resolution stills. For me, a drone is an alternative perspective. It's like having another lens in my camera bag. Only this lens is both smaller, lighter and less expensive than most of the lenses that I would have in my bag. All of DJI's drones feature GPS. Before takeoff, the GPS point is logged. This is important because if there's a signal dropout, the drone will immediately head to home. You can also use the return to home option on your controller or DJI Flight app to immediately have the drone head back to that spot as well. All DJI drones also have built-in no-fly zone. You simply cannot take off here. So if, for example, I live next to an airport, I wouldn't be able to fly it in my back garden. It just wouldn't do it. Most of their drones also have intelligent flight modes, so you can get the drone to perform set maneuvers. The Mini series, which currently consists of the Mini SE, Mini 3 and the Mini 4 Pro, are DJI's smallest drones. They all come in under 250 grams. This is super important in the UK and actually also in France when I was on holiday, because you can fly these with far fewer restrictions. But let's talk about the Mini 4 Pro drone itself. This is the Fly More kit, which is a tip for you. If you're investing in a drone for photography or video, definitely budget for a Fly More combo. Whichever drone you're looking at, budget for the Fly More kit. You're going to get 2 extra batteries, a multi-charger, a carry case, some spare propellers and a load of other bits and bobs. But as a photographer, if you're shooting high frame rates, you're going to go through those batteries. So get the triple kit. First things first, it comes in this bag. Inside the bag, you have the controller. This is the RC2, which has the screen built in. On the back, you'll see the little joysticks, which we'll just screw into the front when we're ready to use it. You get 3 batteries in a triple charger. The great thing about this is I've actually got a power bank with me today. So there's room in the bag for a power bank. It doesn't come in the kit, this is my own personal one, but I can use this to charge these batteries on the go. So because we're going to be out all day today, although I've got 3 batteries, when I take one off and swap it, I can have that charging in my bag to give me even more shooting time. The other great thing about this is if you don't have a power bank and maybe you've got a phone that you're on all the time or an older phone where the battery's not working very well, you can also use this to charge. So you can take some of the power from your batteries to charge your other stuff, whether that's your microphones or whatever.
Here's our model.
And yeah, our model for the day has just arrived, having told us he wants a warm-up ride before he gets here. And of course the model is my other half, who we usually drag into these videos. Back to the Fly More kit. So you've got the triple batteries, which just slot in like that. These charge from one cable, so you only need one plug, one cable. It doesn't come with a plug, so you will need a decent USB-C plug. A power delivery plug, 20 or 30 watts would be ideal. Of course, the other thing you get in the kit is the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Look how tiny it is. Can you see how small that is on my hand? This here is a protector for the gimbal. I'm going to put that back on just while I show you this. There's this little harness around it, which you just unclip here. That just keeps everything neat in the bag, stops your propellers from flopping around. And I'll show you how easily the DJI Mini 4 actually just comes together, if you like. So you just flip that, twist that, and twist that. And that is your drone, along with the battery. And that's it. That's the Mini 4 Pro. So, on the front, we'll remove this cover, which is just there to protect the camera when it's in transit and stop this gimbal from getting knocked. There is a 3-axis gimbal, which gives you super stable footage wherever you're flying. I've tested this in quite high winds, and it worked really, really well. After a while, you will get gimbal overload if it's very, very windy, because it's trying so hard to stabilize. But it didn't happen for quite a long time, and it was windy. It wasn't optimum flying conditions. On the bottom here, you'll see some little cameras, and this is also an infrared detector for 3D infrared. The cameras, the infrared, some cameras here, some cameras on the top here. These all form part of the omnidirectional obstacle avoidance. So with this drone, you've got obstacle avoidance from the top, from the bottom, the back and the front, every direction, which means that in the standard flying mode, if you go too near to something, it isn't going to crash into it. The drone will not allow itself to crash into something from every direction. So if you're a beginner, or if you're like me and you're just not a very good drone pilot, you don't have to worry about those things. You can just worry about getting the shot. This is the smallest, lightest, I think most affordable drone that is 4K, is under 250 grams and has the omnidirectional obstacle avoidance, and it also has active track 360. So we'll get onto that later, but if you're looking for a drone to get started with, but that gives you all of these key features as a photographer or videographer you're really going to want, then I would start looking from the DJI Mini 4 up. There are less expensive drones that are of a similar size and shape, but they don't have all of those features. So if you want something that you know that, yes, you're going to pay around about £1,000 for the Fly More kit, we'll put the exact prices below. If you know that you're going to spend around that amount, this is going to give you everything. You can of course spend a lot more. You can get bigger drones, bigger sensors, different camera lenses, but if you're sort of getting started testing the water and you don't want to buy something twice, I would definitely consider this one rather than the ones below it. If you just want to play with the drone and get some reasonable video, you could look lower. But for photographers and videographers, you definitely want to be starting here. At the front of the drone, you have a 48 megapixel camera featuring a 1 1/3 inch sensor, capable of shooting 4K video at 60 frames per second. The enhanced HDR capabilities are actually quite impressive. I mean, low light isn't so much of an issue, and it makes it very versatile. And speaking of versatility, an absolute must for us here is native vertical shooting. The camera literally rotates on the gimbal to allow you to shoot vertical and compose properly. Brilliant for anyone creating videos for social media, and all it takes is just a press of a button on the touchscreen and it just rotates. You have two still photo modes, 12 megapixel or 48 megapixel. There's a nighttime mode as well, which has ISO up to 12,800. I haven't been able to test this, I'm afraid. Standard photo ISO is up to 6,400, but DJI have some pretty clever processing to reduce noise. So while it's not an out and out low light performer, and why would it be for such a small sensor, but you're still going to get good clean images and video. So in video, you've got ISO up to 6,400 in standard mode. So even at sunset, you're going to get lovely looking videos. You can film in 25, 30 and 60 frames in 4K, and you can also do slow motion 4K footage up to 100 frames or full HD up to 200 frames. You can shoot in standard colour profile, HLG or D-Log-M. Some of DJI's higher level drones, like the Mavic 3, shoot in full log. D-Log-M is like a scaled down version, like a sort of light version of log, to give you some colour grading and some dynamic range, but not full blown log shooting. It takes a micro SD card. I'm using a ProMaster 128GB card today. There is 2GB of onboard storage as well, but you remember you are going to be shooting 4K 60, 4K 100. You're going to want a bigger card in there. But 2GB on board, if you do forget your card, at least your day's not wasted. The battery forms part of the main body of the drone. DJI claim up to 34 minutes per battery, and the Fly More does include 3 in total. I think 34 minutes is maybe just performing simple moves without recording any video and in optimum temperatures. In reality, I found this to be much lower, and especially when using the active track features, the intelligent flight modes, filming a lot of 4K 60, I think if you're planning on using the very best features of this drone, and surely that's the reason that you're looking at it, it's probably more like 15 minutes of flight time with recording. I've not actually recorded it, so don't take this as gospel, but just plan your time accordingly. If the battery level gets critical, the drone will automatically return home, so you don't need to worry about that. It features Active Track 360, which means I can easily track my subject, even if that subject is me. Active Track is at the core of some of the intelligent flight modes and basically means that the drone locks onto my chosen subject and can even predict where the subject might move in order to plan the rest of the automated flight. Very intelligent indeed. Active Track is available in a few DJI drones, but at the time that I'm filming this video, the Mini 4 Pro is the smallest, lightest and most affordable one to have it. So as I said earlier, for videographers wanting to add cinematic footage, or for solo content creators who want their own private aerial photographer, this is why you're going to want to consider the Mini 4 Pro over other sub 250 gram drones. For how it works, it couldn't be simpler. I just select my subjects on the touchscreen, on the remote, or you can do it in the DJI Fly app on your phone if you're using that type of remote. With my subject selected, I can have the Mini 4 Pro automatically frame, follow and add in various cinematic moves to give me really gorgeous footage. You can automatically follow alongside in parallel mode or add in more complex moves either manually or let the Mini 4 choose for you. Alongside the Active Track technology, the DJI Mini 4 Pro also includes several other intelligent flight modes designed to automate and enhance your aerial shots. These include point of interest, waypoint flight, smart shots, quick shots, master shots, hyperlapse and panorama. We have made another video which covers these in a little bit more detail, so be sure to check that out. I really think for most photographers and videographers, so most of our customers at Wilkinson Cameras, the Mini 4 Pro should be where you start to look at a drone for your kit. It's small, it's lightweight, you can fly it pretty much anywhere because of its weight. It's got loads of automations to make your life easier, and straight out of the box it produces great looking video and stills with raw shooting and log light video. There are less expensive options like the Mini 3 if you want a less expensive way to dip your toe into drone photography, but you do lack some of the advanced obstacle avoidance and the Active Track 360, which is a really key feature to consider. If you want even more from a drone and have a bigger budget and more room in your camera bag, then look at the Mavic series starting with the Mavic 3, which we'll cover in another video in a bit more depth. If you think this tiny and frankly brilliant